Hello, this video is going to be a little different than the other ones. It's going to be a flashcard video. We're just going to go with the questions and answers, no explanation. Universal Containers sells through many different resale networks. Each reseller's deals are tracked on a separate opportunities. The sales manager is concerned that the pipeline report is not accurate due to multiple opportunities for the same end customer. How should the sales process be modified to ensure opportunities are not double counted in the pipeline? Answer: change the forecast category to be omitted on the duplicate opportunities. Universal Containers created a new custom object to track inventory items. The support team cannot see the inventory objects tab. Which two settings could the system administrator check to find the cause of the problem? Choose two options: support team permission sets, support team profile. Support representatives at Universal Containers want the same technical engineer group to be associated with each new case. What should the system administrator define to implement this requirement? A default case team on each account record. The sales manager recently left Universal Containers, and the Salesforce administrator has received the urgent request to deactivate the username because the sales manager was part of several approval processes. It's taking longer than expected. What should the Salesforce administrator do? Freeze the user record. At Ursa Major Solar, sales representatives use a custom report type for account reports. New fields have been created on the account object. An administrator needs the report on the newly created fields, which they do. From the custom report type, edit layout, and then add the new fields to the report. Universal Containers has a complex sales process with multiple record types, each shared with all profiles. Some users complain about the record type selection screen when creating new opportunities. Which two actions should the system administrator take to allow these users to bypass choosing the record type? Choose two options. Remove the record type from the user's profiles. Instruct users to update the default record type in My Settings. Ursa Major Solar has a private sharing model on opportunities. Leadership has asked the administrator create a new custom object that will track customer payment information and will link the opportunity. Only those users with access to opportunities should be able to see the records on the new object. What should the administrator create to achieve this goal? A master detail relationship with profile permissions. The sales executive at Universal Containers wants to be notified whenever high-value opportunities are created for hot accounts. What should the administrator do to meet these requirements? Create a workflow rule on the opportunity object. Universal Containers wants to allow potential customers to submit cases for technical inquiries. They do not have resources set up as a call center. To make support available through other means, which two options should they consider? Choose two options. Generate web-to-case HTML code and add to the website, adding a link to specified routing address for email to case. A new approval process is being adapted at Ursa Major Solar. After an opportunity has been approved, the contract is sent to the customer for signature as a final step in the process. How can the administrator implement this functionality? Install an app from the App Exchange. Ursa Major Solar, UMS, is using the workflow field update. Which two actions can UMS complete with this feature? Choose two options. Apply a specific value to a field. Modify a record type of a record. The system administrator enables case feed actions and feed items in support settings with the appropriate profile permissions enabled. What changes will the user see? Case will use feed layouts rather than standard page layouts. The system administrator creates a workflow rule that assigns a task to a support manager role when the case is escalated. The case owner is complaining about being assigned these tasks. What should the system administrator do to correct this issue? Make sure there is only one user in the role. Ursa Major Solar is adding objects to a custom report type. How many objects maximum can be added to this report type? 4, as long as the objects have associations. What is the benefit of using lookup filter instead of validation rule? Improves the efficiency when selecting related record. Ursa Major Solar has 1 million new account records to upload into Salesforce. What is the recommended method for uploading this data? Utilize the data loader. What two valid assignee options should an administrator use to configure a case assignment rules? Choose two options, queue and user. Ursa Major Solar uses a validation rule to prevent invalid data. What are 3 conditions where the rule is used? Choose 3 options. When records are submitted using web to lead, when records are imported, when records are edited and saved by a user. How should the system administrator implement biweekly notifications for sales reps that include opportunities that need attention based on the opportunity owner's last login, past due opportunities, and all opportunities that have not been updated in the last 30 days? Create opportunity update reminders. Ursa Major Solar recently enabled the multiple currency features, as a result which currency will be used as the foundation for all currency conversion rates, corporate currency. How can multiple campaign records be associated with a single opportunity? Campaign influence. Universal Container uses a custom object with product development team. Product development executives and system administrators should be the only users with access to records of this object. Product development needs read-write access to the records within the object, while the executive should only be able to view the records. How can the system administrator configure the security model to meet these requirements? Set the organization-wide defaults for the custom object to public read-write. Give the product development profile read, create, edit permissions. Give the executive profile read-only permissions for this object. Ursa Major Solar has the following environment and requires critical high priority accounts to have an assigned district manager, sales representative, inside sales representative, and customer service representative. The sales manager wants to prevent these accounts from being inadvertently contacted more than once on the same day. The sales manager wants to report on various customer interactions. How do they do that? Log a separate task, call, or activity on the account. Universal Containers offers a variety of products that are comparable to products from other companies. Sales representatives request a method to track products' strengths and weaknesses compared to those offered by other vendors. What should the system administrator implement? Competitors on the opportunity page layout. Universal Containers has a renewal sales team that will use the opportunity object. They want to use many of the same pick list fields that are already defined, but will need a unique pick list values. What features allow system administrators to maintain the same field for 2 different teams? Record types. Ursa Major Solar has an opportunity record with a close date of November 15th, which fulfills the criteria for the time-dependent workflow rule. The time-dependent action is scheduled for November 8th. The opportunity is edited before November 8th, however, no longer meets the criteria. What happens to the time-dependent action? It is automatically moved from the queue. An administrator at Ursa Solar Major wants to allow a sales user to relate to an opportunity to a campaign. What are the 2 ways to accomplish this goal? Utilize campaign influence, relate list to an opportunity, choose the primary campaign source for the opportunity. Which report should a sales administrator use to display a number of contacts related to an account? Some report with a report formula.